that was retire as a judge, which she did, thereby retaining her $200,000 a year judicial pension. Well, the article in question, Mary Trump says, I met with her again shortly after the article ran. The article in question, the one that caused the president's sister to resign her lifetime appointment as a judge, because that was the only way she could preclude the judiciary from running an inquiry into what she allegedly did. The article in question was, of course, the Pulitzer Prize-winning gigantic investigation into the president's financial past that the New York Times published in October 2018. That is where we learn from the Times' dogged reporting and from a ton of documents they exclusively obtained. That's where we learned that the president had received hundreds of millions of dollars from his father, not the $1 million loan that he had long publicly claimed was his sole inheritance from his father. That's where we learned about the president and his family running this reported scheme by which they systematically undervalued their assets to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, basically to cheat on paying taxes. That's where we learned that the president and his family went so far as to create a fake company to siphon money out of their father's company without having to pay taxes on it. The scheme worked by marking up building and construction costs, but then President Trump and his siblings reportedly just pocketed the difference without ever paying any tax on that money. That reporting from the New York Times is also, in part, how Mary Trump, the author of this new book, learned that the settlement she and her brother agreed to concerning Trump's father's estate, that's how she learned. But the settlement that she and her brother agreed to with regard to that estate undervalued that estate by hundreds of millions of dollars. Thereby, she says, cheating her and her brother out of millions of dollars of their share of it. She also says that fraud, that deliberate undervaluing of the father's estate, is itself a fraud. That means that she doesn't have to abide by the confidentiality agreement she signed as part of that settlement. That confidentiality agreement is part of how they are trying to stop her from publishing this book. She's saying, yeah, I signed it, but I signed it as part of a deal that was a fraud, because we've learned from the New York Times and other reporting, thanks to documents that I gave them, that the estate that was being settled by me signing that piece of paper was being drastically misrepresented as a way of cheating me. And so am I going to abide by the confidentiality agreement? No, I'm not. I'm publishing my book.